real right now.
Mr. DL.
2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Who's off? 'Cause you could just lose your mind.
Yes. We are back with the 101st episode of the Danger Zone podcast with the legendary.
Big Shug. I think you said the 101st.
No, 105th. I said 105th.
It sounds like 101st.
Well, 105th is what I said. Yeah. So we're going to say 105. 105, my weight. And we're here with Mr. DL and
Chef Tanya Nicole.
Yeah, and we're here with the Danger Zone podcast. It is it's another one, man. We took last week off. It's been another busy week in music and pop culture. As you can see, we have a different look this week. And make sure you subscribe to all our channels. If you're listening on Spotify, make sure you head over to the Danger Zone podcast on YouTube. What's up, Big Shug? What's going on?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm glad to be back too, because there's always a lot going on. Shout out to my brother DJ Premier, who has a show called So What's Up. That's to break down some of the classics that he's made. And this week, actually today, he put up the episode, the 55th episode of The Making of Militia. And it's so dope because, you get to, see how he did that, but also how we went down the line and we put it together and kind of almost relived it. So, y'all can check that out, man. So What's Up? You see it on my page, Big Shoe, Gangstar. You can check out DJ Premier's IG and other channels, any platforms is available. Also, as far as there's been a lot of the same things going on, but one thing that that has come to the forefront is the fact that so many of these guys that are in this music industry and such they are getting caught up, with these sexual allegations and different things of that nature, like as far as like R. Kelly, as we know, and a few others, Bill Cosby, and as of the latest, it's P. Diddy. You know what I'm saying? And then now, a former Def Jam exec has alleged that Russell Simmons assaulted her. Russell Simmons has been accused of sexual assault once again. This time by a former employee at the record label he co-founded. A woman served as an executive at Def Jam during the 90s, sued them for sexual harassment and rape. Filed under Jane Doe in the New York federal court, the lawsuit alleges false imprisonment, battery, emotional distress, and violation of the state's gender-motivated violence law. The plaintiff claims that the Queens native invited her to his apartment for work. Okay, so she went to his apartment for work. Though he started wrestling with her, well, that's a red flag. And in an attempt to appear playful, soon after, then he pinned her down in the bed aggressively. Miss Doe, Jane Doe, we'll call her, repeatedly told Mr. Simmons to get off her, but he refused. Court documents state Mr. Simmons proceeded to rape her. Following that, the hip-hop businessman allegedly continued to torment his employee at the workplace, despite others telling him to stop, ultimately forcing her to resign in 1997. He would sit on her desk, lean over her, aggressively invading her personal space while making sexual innuendos, suggestions and advances, and rubbing the front of his pants. The paperwork reads, Mr. Simmons would follow Ms. Doe to the door or block her path to prevent her from opening it again. Now, as was stated in here, this was 1997. One thing that comes to the forefront is, man, that's such a long time ago. Where we at right now, though, is this is all allegations. So as I speak it, I'm not speaking it as I believe this or I don't believe or whatever, because there's no way for us to know. The problem is, for me, is so now you can go back and think about a few things and possibly go for the money now. You know what I mean? Now, we're not saying that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But still, that's why we're hearing a lot of this stuff now as well. That's part of it. Secondly, is when these guys were in power, because it's alleged, but like the P. Diddy's and Kelly's and everyone, when they were in power, no one thinks about that when they're in the power. They misuse the power they had. Right now, Diddy's denying any rape charges, what have you. You know, and he's fighting, and as you know, since this had come to the forefront, you haven't heard two peeps out of him anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, as far as misusing their power when they had such high power, and then the media forces down everyone's throat how much money people have. You see what I'm saying? Like you keep going to check Diddy's 900 million, 1 billion, 900 million, 1 billion. You ride that whole wave to this whole time, and now you're like, well, you know what? Get a good lawyer. They're gonna rock with you, and we're gonna see what we can get out of this, whether it's good or not. You know.
Yeah.
What's your take on the situation?
I don't know really. I'm of the cloth that I like to hear all the information before I come
Right.
up. But as a podcaster, I think it's funny. I think it's funny that P. Diddy, has just been an asshole to people
How is that funny?
for so long, and now he's going through all this. As a podcaster, I find it. It's content. It's good content. To call him P. Diddler is good content. You know what I mean? Like,
but to me, I take it like when you said that. But to me, I take it as so I know so much bullshit that has arose on the other side of the industry. You know what I mean? Whereas I seen some shit where I was like, damn, motherfuckers say this and ruin your whole shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not exactly the truth. But then there's part of it that is. So I like to usually let it play itself out. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's so much that's put before us where you're like, damn, dog, you was wilding out. You know what I mean? But right now, it looks different than when you were in power. Like everybody watched Making of the Band.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I say that, we're not talking about this is how P. Diddy was sexually abusing people or anything, because that's nothing I know. Yeah. That's that man's situation. We'll find out however it plays out.
Yeah.
But you can see the other side of it, him being with the attitude he had, the way he was doing people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
one thing I don't see is like what you see with Bill Cosby or you saw with Charlie Sheen or whoever it was, is I don't see anybody really supporting Puff Daddy. I don't really see many people doing it unless they have something to benefit from, like maybe they're on his label or one of his artists or something. I don't see anybody going to bat for Puff Daddy, and that's crazy to me.
But you know what though? And that's one side. And the other side is, but you still don't even hear a lot of the side noise that you were hearing with these other situations. You know what I mean? It's almost like, man, this shit been quiet.
Yeah.
You know, we know what's going on. Like right now, 50 Cent is Captain Troll. He's trolling Floyd Mayweather again about, because Mayweather said something about he wasn't going to speak on Diddy or anything because he don't know if that happened or not. And he almost made it seem like it could have been a fault of the woman. He was like, because he said something to the fact that it was stated that if it was his daughter, he'd be mad, but he feels like she shouldn't have did so and so or whatever. And I was like, so 50 Cent counters like, damn, man, is you stupid or is you dumb? That's 50 Cent. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? So that's something else that's going on the other side of it. As people know, they recently squashed their little beef they had.
Yeah. But
man, looks like it's back on with that bullshit. But I don't know. The thing kind of almost correlates for like the priests that were convicted of sexual molestation and rapes or whatever. So the reason why I say that is because when we would see them before us now, we see them for what they are. An old, feeble ass man. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, damn. So trying to appear as if he wouldn't have been that way. But when he was in power and physically strapping and strong, this is when this stuff was happening.
Yeah.
So I say that as far as like with some of these moguls, you know what I mean? I mean, look at Weinstein. Did people, you turn around, man, and you see Weinstein is in prison.
Yeah.
For mad long. So he had that power for so long doing stupid shit, you know what I mean, that it got him. Yeah. Now, we're not saying that's going to happen to P. Diddy. I don't know. But I'm just saying, when you had your power, when people had the power, they didn't think of shit like that. I'll slap the shit out of this person or whatever. You know, I mean, it's just different, man, you know? But,
yeah, I mean, I think in these situations, it's pretty much 50% it did happen and 50% it didn't, right? And like you said, you have to wait until all the information plays out. I know a lot of times people are like, oh, it's been so long and now they want to come out and now this person has money. Yes, but also when you are a victim of sexual assault, I could see, you know, yeah, you're an executive in the 90s. How many female music executives were there? And then a lot of times, and we've seen this, where the victim gets, you know, blamed or whatever, or you come out, you prove that they did that to you, but then your career is effed up no matter what. Like, there's so many reasons why not to say, and that doesn't mean that it did happen. That's not what I'm saying, but I could see why it takes people a long time. Also, you put it in the back of your mind. You are acting like it doesn't happen.
It does take a long time, but
like there's a lot of factors involved.
With her situation, okay, maybe she did want to come out when it happened, but the times weren't really allowing
supportive.
That.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But now she saw, oh, this person came forward. Oh, that person came forward. Maybe it's my turn, or maybe it's not true.
100%. Like I said, 50%.
As also, as you know, too, that so when you look, I mean, it's the information that they feed us to, the information that they're feeding, where you get to decipher, you get to play home judge or whatever on these situations, because they're gonna say she was invited. They want us to know whether it's his camp or whoever. She was invited to his home for work. You know what I'm saying? So one part of it's always going to be like, well, damn, what'd you go over to do his house for work?
Yeah, and the other part is you're a rich person, a mogul who has a huge house, who takes business meetings in their home. You know, it could go, it's like you said, you could spin it a lot of ways, you know. You live in a house with like 80 rooms, you got a home office, you got.
But you don't have to. But listen, you don't have to go over to number one. And then in this statement, they said he started out playfully wrestling with her. Yo, once that shit went down, it's time to be out.
Yeah.
You know
yeah, but you have like this. Yes, 100%. But again, if you're in a power struggle,
I'm not a victim blamer, but here it comes. Danger zone.
Me neither.
Get your danger zone ready, Tommy. Get your danger zone ready. In a current climate of America, we're all forced to be fed this line: believe all women. Believe all women. You've heard them say it. You've seen the hashtag, and that's dangerous.
I don't agree with that necessarily.
Because all someone has to do is say, Puff Daddy tried to rape me. And in 2024, that's a fact.
Yeah,
that has become a fact. It's the court of the public opinion has ruled that Puff Daddy is guilty of this. And there's, you know what I'm saying? There's been no evidence or court or anything. But as far as the public is concerned, he is guilty of it, and only because she said so.
Yes, I do believe that is sad in this day and age.
And I'm not saying that she's lying. I'm not saying she's telling the truth. But the line that we're supposed to believe everybody, who believe all women, is dangerous. Because you're trying to tell me that women never lie?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. That is dangerous.
If you look at another side of it, though, too, is like you said, first of all, even with we could go back to the priest, where you had people that were falsely accusing that because there was money being handed out, for the churches.
Yeah.
So you had guys come up doing that, a bunch of them, and I know for a fact some instances that have with football players and a few professional athletes with a woman straight lie. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, what's his name? I think LaShawn McCoy, former running back for the NFL, for Buffalo and Philly, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, he had some woman that said that she had to beat her up and all this other crazy stuff, and she was living in one of his houses, and he wasn't even nowhere around it. Eventually, I guess it worked in his favor, but it's like anything like DL just said, you could say something, and now it's got to play itself out, but everybody's believing it.
You know why I always thought lied? I always thought lied. Danger Zone, right? I always thought Robin Gibbons lied.
The Danger Zone.
I do too.
I think she should have said, he pushed me up against the wall and slapped me. I mean, come on, that made more sense than you would be dead if if what you're saying happened. You'd be a dead person. So I never believed her. And I know that's unfair because this or that, and everyone's like, well, Mike Tyson came out and he apologized to her 20 years later, and I'm like, yeah, because he probably has a smart manager or
PR.
public public relations person, because you get in front of this Mike, they like you, Mike, they like you, but there's this little thing they don't like about you, Mike. Just get out there and say that. You know what I mean? Like, I can 100% seeing that happen.
I think anybody who is in any negative situation, the PR person is going to tell them what is most beneficial for their career. And I think that not only does the accusation like that, oh, public opinion, this person is guilty because this is what they got accused of, but that happens all the time on the news, like in so many situations where it's like, oh, this person is suspected as the killer, and then it comes out that they were not the killer, or they weren't the one that robbed the store.
Not to harp on it, but all right. Someone says, Big Shug robbed my house. All right, and then they put it on the front page of the paper. Big Shug robs man's house, and then they find out that it wasn't Big Shug. It was just some other guy, Mr. T. Then they find out it was Mr. T.
Man.
But then they will correct their story,
but
they'll put it on page 50 on the bottom of the page in a little blurb. Oh, by the way, front page story. The negative news will never, your positive story or your positive triumph will never outweigh the negative lie that people know about you. It just won't. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you the bottom line. A lot of these things, and I was raised that way, no matter what. So, being young, I didn't know I was gonna ever, make certain amounts of money and travel the world and perform and have fans and shit like that. You know what I mean? But I was always I always had respect for women, no matter what. You know what I mean? Even when they was playing themselves. You understand what I'm saying? Like, even when I was like, yo, I always had this different kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Just because something's there doesn't mean that you have to partake. You feel me? Or just because somebody wants to be submissive in a certain way don't mean that that's the move.
Yeah.
My mind always acted differently. My shit was always like, nah, man, But some people, they got that power. Some people had that same kind of false power when in the crack era. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers was selling drugs, became a heavy dealer, and dealing with crackhead women, and even women that were just attracted to all this money and lifestyle that this dude was portraying. So that was false power to them. All this is false power. But one thing, all the things you did, though. Whether guilty of this or not or whatever, but you do know things you might have done. So that's why people in those positions are like, damn, because you got some people that like, hey, they've been rich. They've been, doing their thing. Like, you got a bunch of them. I mean, shit, I think
Denzel
LeBron,
Washington. You ain't never heard nothing bad about Denzel Washington.
Well, that's the thing. You never
That
heard
man's
that.
a saint.
Here's another one you never heard anything bad about, who people want so bad to have him slip up in life. Ice Cube.
LeBron.
Has never, LeBron definitely, but
Love it.
But LeBron will never probably slip up because he doesn't hang out in certain circles. LL, did LL ever fuck up? Nah. No, but I'm saying Ice Cube was such America's bad boy for a little spell that there would be nothing more. Like a Phil Donahue would be like, oh yes, if Ice Cube, they found this or they found
He
that,
chilling,
like that era.
looking like a little snack.
So yeah, there's not many people who, and then there's people who they don't like so much people don't care what they do. Do you remember Tim Allen? Do you remember Tim Allen by any chance?
Yeah,
Home
the
Improvement?
Tim Allen from that show.
power.
Man was a huge cocaine smuggler.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Smuggler.
He,
You know what I'm saying?
he did.
The
He
danger
did 10
zone.
years.
Yeah. He did 10.
He did 10 years.
He did 10 years and then rolled on his homie.
Wait, he
And-
did 10 years before or after he got famous?
This is-
During.
I don't know if he was
Before.
this is before Home
Okay,
Improvement, but
okay.
this
No,
is
I'm just want to know.
this is before Home Improvement. But judging
Before.
by his age when he was arrested, he was probably a stand-up comedian at that age, I would imagine, but not famous yet.
Got it. He was a hustler. Like
No,
some of
he
the
wasn't,
rappers.
um,
He was being a comedian
that-
but working.
That show became so huge, but that's after that dude did 10 years at least,
Yeah.
right?
No one cares.
Another dude was, remember that show, The Rock?
Yeah,
Remember Rock?
yeah. What's his name? I love that guy.
The trash can.
Yeah,
He was
Rock.
a trash
What the hell's
truck
his,
driver.
what's his name?
It'll come, but he also did time for manslaughter.
What's The Rock?
You know what I mean?
What show's that?
Like,
Rock was a show on Fox in the late
Right.
'90s, where it was
He
like
was a trash truck driver.
he was a trash truck driver, a bald guy.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
ROC.
Why does
It was
that
spelled.
sound
It was
familiar?
It was.
Oh, he was. Okay. Yes. I remember.
The fuck is
Okay.
that guy's
I don't know
name?
that guy's name, but I
Yeah.
know he is a good actor.
Another one was.
I think
Okay.
I think he did 15. See, that was the thing about both of those dudes. It was like, damn, these dudes went and did real time and then blew the fuck
Got
up.
their lives
Like,
together.
you know what I mean?
he
So it's crazy, man.
with Rock, with Rock. I'm more surprised at the Tim Allen one just because that was a Disney show. And you know what I mean? And they were like, yeah, we'll get this guy. He's funny. And then they came with, I guess that was before cancel culture. Because someone might have showed
They
up and
didn't
like,
have the
hey,
internet to show
before
what he was
cancel cul-
doing.
Hey, before cancel culture and before social media. So
Yeah.
back then, a lot of stuff could be pushed to the side. Whereas now we can't push it to the side. You're like, oh shit, this one knows that.
yeah.
Like even people cheating and shit like that. Like you could be at a restaurant years ago. Nobody don't know where the fuck you at.
yeah.
Your wife can't even call you. Now, man,
Yeah.
somebody's. I've literally seen people film shit where I'm somewhere and I didn't even know that they was filming the shit. Like and they like, yo, guess who I seen today? I'm like, damn, this mother got me like on Facebook, whatever.
Thank
You know,
God he
more than
tagged you
once.
in it, so at least you know.
You know what I mean? I mean, I'm like, yo, and sometimes you feel it a little, but not all the time. Then I just see it later and be like, oh shit, this motherfucker got me up on
Big
here.
Shug,
So
today-
if you're doing something funny, you never know, man. Everybody,
Today
you
I
know,
had a
everybody's
job
doing-
interview, and the
Hmm?
woman at the ends of my interview asked me basically what were my socials. So even employers now,
Yeah, they want to check up on you.
they're like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
you know, like what are you
They be on
doing?
them shits.
And the good thing about working for yourself is, if you don't like what's on my socials,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool. But
This
you
is-
make that decision before you hire me
This
because
is what they do.
this is me, and I'm
I'm-
not hiding it.
They go to your socials, make sure you're not doing no hoe shit. Make sure you weren't in
Yo, I
Washington,
I'm,
remember
D.C.
one
I'm
time-
definitely not.
Make sure you weren't in Washington,
Yo.
D.C. on January 6th.
Oh boy, the danger
I
zone.
remember one time, so I was going to pay a mortgage, some shit, and at the spot, and the people, you know, they will always know. They might have had a little bit knowledge of, you know, what I do or what have you, but that's about it. So after a while, you know, the woman who was running the joint is like, hey, she said, come in here for a minute, like, you know, because she would call me in and we talk a little bit. She talked forever. Anyway, she says, hey, look at this. I've been looking up on you, right? And then you also know when they start going, it's the Big Shug and shit like that. So I know you've
Oh
been doing
boy.
that. And then she says, why are you talking like that? I said, talking like what? She said, you know, like a punk, right? I like, you know, and when people have
The
that,
danger zone.
people have that like, in certain, you know, people or areas, whatever, whereas, or generations, where they say a punk is like a wise ass or something like that, somebody being smart, you know, or a street guy, whatever. And I said, Joe, that's how I always talk. And she said, well, not to me. I says, listen, I'm not, why am I going to sit here and talk slang with you? She's goofy like that. She was like a white Archie Bunker, if anybody knows about that old school show.
Yeah.
She was like a bigot, didn't really know it. She mean well, man, but she just was like, she was still like, I mean, I'm just the same person when I walked in there. And she was like, when I first started growing a full face beard, she says, "Hey, what are you, a Muslim?" I said, "Hold up,
Oh,
you know." And
boy.
I get straight, right? And I says,
The danger
"A
zone.
Muslim." say like, what is that? Like a slim moose? I'm messing with her, as her face starts to turn redder and redder. Right? I'm like, what the hell is a Muslim? And she said, you know what I mean. Well, you know what I mean. I said, no, I don't. A moose limb. I don't, you know what I mean? And as her face is now like fully beat red, then I say, listen, I know what you're saying, but everybody that got a beard is not a Muslim. You know what I mean?
You think Santa Claus is Muslim? I'd be like, you think Santa Claus?
He might be. We don't know his religion.
I'd be like, do you think Jesus is a Muslim?
I know. Hey,
well, that would be a surprise. But
hey, you know something though? Them two things you said, you might get people to say. You might get people to be like, yeah, especially Jesus.
Santa Claus is not about a religion.
Yeah.
So we don't know what Santa Claus's religious preference is. It might just happen to land on that day. I don't know.
Hey, if someone tries to give me the scientific background and makeup of Santa Claus, right, and they even act remotely serious, I'm gonna wind up like Roger Clemens, who's about to throw a fastball and slap the tremendous shit out of him. So I'm just saying, like, if anybody wants to try to be like, what Santa Claus really was, and so I'll be like, listen, come on, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's how I felt about. That's how I felt about when the whole fucking Twitter was enraged about the Little Mermaid being black, and I'm just like, bro, it's a fucking cartoon. It's a First of all, it's a cartoon. Mm-hmm. Like, if they make a movie and George Washington's Korean, then fucking tell me that you got a problem with that. But if you got a problem with fucking fictional characters, like them changing what they look like, it's like, dude, who fucking cares, bro?
Also, another one speaking on that I think it's going to happen, but they sure are taking a long time for it to happen, is having a black James Bond. That's another wrestle.
Yeah,
like no one has.
The rumor's always been Idris Elba.
Yeah. Me personally, I think it'll be a good one.
I think it'd be awesome.
You know what I mean?
He'd be looking like a snack. I'm for it.
But then they'll be like, yo, see, then he took over. Like, because I'm telling you, make that dude could be the next, you know how old them dudes be. Yeah. He could be the next 8. He could be the next 007.
Yeah, that's true, huh? Yeah. Who else could be?
Yeah, but I think they're trying to pick someone young so that they could keep it going way longer.
So if it was, I think if it was.
But James Bond's supposed to be older.
If you look at it though, them dudes were starting in their 40s.
No, 100%. But didn't they already announce the next James Bond? Hold on.
They could have.
He's young.
He would have been so dope.
He would have been good.
I'm not against it.
I think he's a great actor.
Hey, we like movie people, and I know you two like to sit and get a bucket of popcorn and reach in and say, "Hey,
I cut the hole in the bottom.
Why is there a hole in it? Why is there a hole in this popcorn?"
The butter helps.
Hey, what kind of kernel is this?
Danger zone.
What kind of kernel?
Hey, yo, why is her whole head in the popcorn bucket?
I'm doing low carb, no carb.
Hey, does he want to share with her? I mean, doesn't she want to share? Why is her head in the bucket?
Why does he seem to like it?
He looks like, look at his face. He's like, his face looks like.
Y'all are getting into the danger zone. I'm going to have a lawsuit soon.
But yo, on the point though, did y'all go check out that Bar Molly movie?
No, not yet. We didn't see that one yet. No, fuck, I forgot about that.
Me neither. So that's what we're doing next, because I really want to check it out. It's crazy because.
All right, let me know when you go. Let me know when you go see it, and we'll go see it, and then we'll talk about it on the following show.
Yeah, for sure, man. I want to go check that, man. They got the little. I like the little recliner seats, man, and all that, and the popcorn.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying?
TMI, the danger zone.
Yeah, man. I can't wait. Nah, I got to see. The funny thing is, Bob Marley was 5'7".
Yeah.
Right. The dude that they got to play him is 6'2". But they say he does a pretty good job, but we'll have to see.
Oh, it's an acting movie. I didn't realize they were acting, and I thought it was a documentary.
Nah.
No,
it's
it's acting.
They're like that.
Oh shit.
That's
because
funny.
they showed those like the what is it called, flashbacks when he's with his kids and how he came about some of the songs.
Yeah, man.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
It's like but I like to see that too, and I hear that he nails the Jamaican accent, and when people do, and it's like that, man, it's believable, man. I like those kind of movies anyway, like the way Idris Elba speaks, English. You know what I mean? Not the
Boston.
King's English that
Boston.
is
Yeah,
normal.
Well, Idris Elba, I liked him obviously in The Wire as Stringer Bell, and then it wasn't he wasn't famous on that role, and then he became famous after it, and he get all these interviews, and people be like, "Oh my God, this guy's from England?" Then no one knew.
Yeah, his
I
English
didn't
accent,
really
his
know,
American
because I
accent is amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, it shows how amazing he is.
Yeah.
Because you're like, wait a minute, this dude I didn't know till I heard him talking. I said, oh shit, and he ain't even in a movie. I realized he was getting an interview, like DL said. I said, oh, this dude talk like that. Okay.
Another one was Nicole Kidman. She talks with an Australian accent in real life, and then people forget that Mel Gibson used to talk like that, and then he trained himself to talk in real life like a racist American.
Oh,
accent.
The Danger Zone.
Yeah, because I like one of the famous lines is with Idris Elba is in that movie with Beyonce, and then the other woman is cuckoo, and he goes Sharon, and I'm like, yo, dog, you sound American as hell, right?
What he's talking about.
Straight.
We'll just listen to
He
him
pulls it off, man.
on The Wire.
But one of the best Jamaican lines, I just gotta say it because it's shout out to Gloria. I don't know if she's still living or whatever, but she used to cook. She had made food at this club, Jamaican food. She actually jerked the whole chicken for me. Pause. But
The Danger Zone.
I'm gonna jerk the whole chicken.
Oh boy,
and
he
if
said it
anybody
again.
knows
The Danger
anything,
Zone.
yo, if anybody knows anything about jerk chicken, the Jamaican style, that shit is the hottest thing to mankind. That shit is uncomfortably hot. For years, I ate it. I was in it, but I remember as I stopped eating it, I used to sweat. I started eating that shit with shirts and shit on. Then I was eating it, and then I had on a tank top, a white beater. Then I had on fucking no shirt. I was like, yo, this shit is like
Big shit
you know
eating jerk chicken with no shirt on. The Danger Zone.
Yo, you ever had it though? How hot that is?
Hell no.
I've had jerk.
Never would I ever even try. Hell no. I would.
Yeah,
die.
you couldn't.
No, yeah, you would.
So listen,
He would die.
Big Sugar.
I don't know.
The salt. You ever go to Chili's?
Yeah.
You ever get chips and salsa that they bring out?
Yeah.
I eat it. I like it, but I go like this. Ha, ha. I'm
That's
fucking
not even hot.
on
Yo.
salsa, bro.
Let me tell you something. Hey, DL, let me tell you something else, though.
You would not make it in
Jerk
Texas.
chicken is
buddy.
not even close to that. Jerk chicken is 20 times
Yeah,
back.
yeah. So
Right?
I know it's not for me. I know.
Just the
I feel it's
pepper
too hot.
alone on the jerk chicken.
Well, listen, here's the thing, right? Like one time, I'm going to get to, no, let me finish this one then. So the Jamaican line that she used to say, I came to the kitchen one day, I'm going to get something, and she said, you know, Roscoe. I said, who? And she said, Roscoe. I said, oh, yeah, Roscoe, I know Roscoe. She said, him breath smell like donkey hole. I said, what? Right? She said, him breath smell like donkey hole. I said, what do you mean? She said, you know, like the hole of the donkey.
Of a donkey. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and you kind of got it right off when she said it. Because I had heard people say the dude's breath was fire and he had atomic breath. But when the chick said his breath smelled like donkey hole. I'm like, what could be worse than that? You know what I mean? Come on, man.
I don't know, and
Shout
I
out
don't
to-
want to know.
Yo, shout out to Gloria, man. You know, wherever you at, you know what I'm saying? But what else you got over there, man?
Well, I want to send a huge shout out, rest in peace shout out to my homie, Mr. Garth Cultivator. Oh, we lost Suge.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've seen that on your social, you know.
So, he's one of my best friends ever in life. A real outlaw, real hustler. There's not many left, and I just want to say rest in peace to him. We'll talk more about that later, not on here, but just in life. I want to
also.
Oh, go ahead.
Before you expound, I also want to excuse me. I also want to give a shout out to Fred Hill. They call him Fred Sugar Hill. He's from Mattapan. The generation younger than me, but they were all basketball players, and I always look at them little dudes come up and do their thing. He ended up playing basketball for Howard and went on to do great things. He was sick not too long ago, but he met his demise or so about a week ago. So, you know, shout out to Fred, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying, to his family, you know, and friends. Condolences, you know.
And then,
But here we are. Go
I
ahead.
want to say, put out a new album. Primitive 2. The rappers are Make 'em Pay and Hectic. It's available on all platforms. It's doing actually really well. And yeah, I just want to say that it's Primitive 2. You can find it on all platforms and go check it out. But I wanted to know I wanted to know Big Shug because we haven't talked on the podcast. I think we talked about it in life, but not on the podcast. What did you think about the halftime show?
With Usher?
Yeah, Usher.
Yeah. Also, before we get to that, shout out to my man Yefta, who I have a single out right now called Real Spit. Shot the video over there at
in this studio, in the Danger Zone
quarters
studio.
Yeah. Did y'all see the video?
Yeah, it's tight, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. Because it really caught. I seen right there really caught that element of like just being in the studio cooling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I felt that when I look at it, I'm like, oh, okay. This is what we do. This is what's up. You know, you and your cousin is there, time and all that. That shit, the whole essence, the element was cool. But shout out to Yefta. He got his whole project out. Y'all can follow him. And but go ahead. What was you saying? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, the halftime show. What did you think about it?
Well, so to me, it's always going to be a safe time show. Like, so nothing's going to ever be outlandish. You know, the days of that, they're not going to let it happen. But I actually thought it was, to be honest with you, I really didn't watch the whole thing, just parts, and saw highlight parts of it because, like, I don't be even really into the halftime shows like that. You know what I mean? Because guess what? So there's a contingency of people who watch them halftime shows, you know, and then there's some people that aren't football fans that are watching them shows even more so. So yeah, a lot of people are watching, and I see parts. Like I saw when 50 Cent was hanging upside down and all that. Like I seen some of them shits, but I didn't see the whole thing. But what I did think, I thought it was entertaining. I thought that Usher did a good job.
Yeah.
People are making a big stink out of him being all close to Alicia Keys, but that to me, that's just cartoonish.
Did you see what she was wearing? Because Alicia Keys should only wear that outfit forever. Just that one.
Okay, the Danger Zone.
She looked good.
I mean, I'm just saying.
She looks good most of the time.
Nah, she looked better than she ever looked right there on that
stage.
Oh, really?
Her husband wasn't fazed by it. Nobody else was. So it was stupid people saying stuff. That's jealousy, whatever. But I thought it was decent.
What did you say, DL, about it?
I thought that. All right. First of all, I've seen every halftime show since they've made halftime shows. So was it Michael Jackson the first one or something?
I have no idea.
I've seen every. No, he wasn't the first one. But I think he was the first big one. But anyway, I've seen everyone. I thought Usher did a great job. I thought they didn't really spend a lot of money on production value. Like I didn't see a lot of this and a lot of that. I saw they had the marching band, but you know, I didn't see a lot of production value this year. But what sealed the deal for me, which I really liked it, Usher was really singing at the halftime show. Like he was really singing, and I was like, oh shit, this guy's actually he's not lip syncing right now. So I gave him like much respect for that. Like I've never seen that.
I thought it was dope. I also want to give a shout out to Shaquan Reed. So he's one of the dancers, and that family's friends of ours. His mom, Cindy Reed, and the host of the uncles and Smitty and everybody. But he's one of the dancers, man. He's danced with Chris Brown as well, and a few others, man. But it was dope, like to see him doing that too. You know, up to Super Bowl because that's big for him as well. So shout out to Shaquan Reed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. I thought it was cool though. What I did see. Now you know.
I watched I would say like 85% of the whole Super Bowl. I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the commercials.
Started slow. Commercials weren't hitting it for me this year.
And I enjoyed the halftime show. And like I said before, I said that I think it was going to be a really good Super Bowl because I think a lot of people were watching for a lot of different reasons. And the statistics on the ratings came back as it was the most watched Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I think
I think more than that, it was the most watched program. Like period.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? The whole shit. Yo, did y'all watch pretty much the commercials though?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have a favorite.
Yeah. What was your
So
favorite?
what would you say? What would you say was like the corniest one to you?
Corny.
That seemed
Jeez.
corny as fuck.
Wow. Dang.
Unless you liked them all.
No, I never liked them all.
I just can't remember.
Yeah, I can't really remember one that I didn't like.
Well, to me, the one that was totally on the cob
Oh,
was
boy.
was that Dunkin' Donuts shit with them
What?
with them
That was my
cornballs.
favorite commercial.
Yeah,
Yo,
see,
The
shit.
Dunkins. I want the
Yo.
jogging outfit.
It was
Danger
2
Zone.
minutes. Yo, those were them sweatsuits from like the early.
Facts.
Hey, yo, them tracksuits, them sweatsuits are the ones that couples wear on as tourists when they're like 80.
I
and they
love
have
it.
those on.
I love it.
And
I
just-
love it because of that. It totally
Yo.
reminds me of that. I could totally rock
Hey.
out with some dope Nikes.
What was your favorite one of all time? Do you have a favorite one?
My favorite one of all, my favorite Super Bowl commercial of all time. Well, this one came out in my in my early teens.
Uh-oh.
So that Cindy Crawford one was banging.
Oh,
That when
okay.
she was rubbing the fucking ice on herself.
And
like,
she had the hose. She like,
You know, so that was like
she,
13.
it was hot.
yeah, I was like 13. You know what I mean? So that's the one that
Oh,
first.
no,
Yeah.
it wasn't a
No,
hose,
yeah,
but it was
yeah.
the ice cube. It was the ice cube. It was the
Yeah.
Pepsi.
She-
That's when
yeah.
Pepsi was
she
getting
did this
stars.
and she did it on her cleavage and shit. I was like,
Okay,
oh
yeah.
shit, you taping this?
What about you?
I
What
don't-
about you, Tanya?
I don't know if I could
Dang,
say
off
my
the top,
favorite.
that's- I don't know. I gotta think.
Yeah, I
Hey,
would
you
have
know-
to like watch
I
something.
think the
and
most
come
memorable.
back.
How about this? Before you answer, Big Sugar, what was the remember Bud
Why?
Wise?
Yeah, yeah, that was a good one.
I do
mine-
I do think Budweiser stands out as over time having a lot of great commercials and the Clydesdales.
Yeah,
know
they got
what?
the Clydesdales. Oh shit.
So, two of my favorite ones, football related. One is that one where dude was tackling everybody in the office.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You remember that shit? He was.
Oh shit.
You just clicked
Yeah.
something.
Oh,
You be sitting at the desk and just he would just smash everybody. Y'all don't remember that?
Yes, I do remember. He would literally tackle them.
Right.
Ow.
The
Sorry.
football one with Marshawn Lynch. And the football fell in the cake. It was about to fall, and then they just threw it and dived and tackled. It was crazy, you know.
All
but
right.
I mean,
So.
They pay.
Oh, go ahead.
They pay so much for them commercials. Hey, you could get. Hey, you know what? You could probably get those sweatsuits now online.
Yeah.
I bet you are.
All right, Big Sugar. I think we might have to go into stupid as hell because we're getting warnings that the battery's dying on our thing.
Oh my God!
Do you have any more stories?
No, I just was saying. I said that you could get that sweatsuit on line, that Dunkin' Donuts joint.
And
Yeah,
then
it's probably
also-
selling out. It's probably selling out left and
I
right.
need it. You should buy it. That'll be my birthday present. Both of y'all could chip in.
Yeah, get her that, and get her that,
Right
and get her
now.
the highest, and get her the highest selling sneaker right now. The one that sold for the most, them Trump joints.
I don't know.
Them shits was like $400 a piece.
Oh, I saw those actually. Oh my god.
Them
Oh,
shits
so-
sold out.
So
Hey, he's selling them sneakers after getting sued, and he was ordered to pay $358 million. Come on, man.
jeez.
Anyway,
So, yeah, we've reached that time of the week. I have a story for next week. I'll save it. But we reached that time of the week for Stupid as Hell. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, wherever you're watching or listening. Just make sure you're hanging out with us on the Danger Zone. So,
word. So, a man was arrested for drugs after getting trapped in a porta potty. Wow. So, hey,
oh, that's just
his crappy night only got worse.
It's crappy.
A man was left screaming after getting trapped in a porta potty, then was promptly
dude.
bystanders called Naples police after hearing that James Ghost, 34, shouting for help Sunday night while stuck in a mobile latrine, a porta potty. An arriving deputy heard Goose yelling and spotted the foot protruding from the porta potty's door. The officer successfully dislodged Goose and told him to sit down nearby. He told cops that he had somehow gotten his foot jammed and couldn't get out. Cops searched the John and found powdery substance and later tested positive for fentanyl. Goose was placed under arrest and faces several drug-related charges. So, I guess his shitty night only got worse.
If you put your feet in a porta potty, like in the water or whatever, like, do you think you'd ever be able to get inside your toenails where your toenail meets your skin?
Oh my God!
Do you think you would ever be able to get it all out of there?
Yes, because I'd be scrubbing with a brush. And anything that would I'd go to the foot doctor and be like, you need to make sure you get everything in the nail, antifungal, everything.
Let me tell you something.
He was on drugs, and God knows what he thought he was doing.
He was fucked up in a porta potty. He wanted to be by himself. So this week, stupid as hell, the man James Goose had a shitty night, and I'm sure he'll learn from that because they got his picture all over the place and everything, man. It goes to show you that of all the millions of people in the world, a lot of them are stupid.
A lot of people are stupid.
It is what it is.
A lot of people are really stupid all around, and then there's smart people who have no common sense, and then there's and then there's the opposite of that too.
Then it's just medium people that smoke weed and drink. Nah, it balances out.
It's not bad to be a medium person.
No,
it balances out, man. But
So yeah, that was another good one. I think we made it. We got 1%, 2%. We made it 2%.
Hey, we got them with the 1-2. The Basic Night, check it out. Go to wherever you listen to podcasts, iHeart, YouTube, the channels, and I'm Big Shug. You check me, Big Shug Gangsta on IG, and Chef Tanya Nicole, and what are your socials, AK? Hey, and Mr. DL.
Yep.
So listen, come back next week. In a few minutes we're gonna stop bringing a couple people back on just to talk a little bit. But I like chopping it up with these guys.
Yeah.
And we'll get at you. Listen, remember, excuses have no purpose, so don't make them.
Don't make them.
As we glow, we grow. So we trying to let glow on everything. We trying to grow on everything out here, man. We here. You know what I'm saying? The danger zone. On my dark days, I used to, you know what it is. Peace.
On my dark days, I chopped crack on a regular. Ran up in spots and clapped on a regular. Took big fat ass stacks from the register. No matter how hard they tried, they still couldn't measure the hard I have.
Somebody said on Facebook, like, he says,